You're at home alone. It's late and you decide you've stayed up too long and now it's time for bed. As you walk to your room, you turn down your hallway, and for just a second, you're sure you see a figure turn into your bedroom doorway. You pause, heart racing. Fight or flight kicks in, but reason soon starts to take over and you begin to rationalize the situation. No one else is in the house. It's locked up tight and you're safe. You make it to sleep finally, but it's restless. Something is wrong. You wake up, but you can't move. You can't move your body, but your eyes are free. You scan the room in a panic and see a figure standing to the side of your bed. You can't move, you can't scream. All you can do is stare as the figure you thought was just a silhouette, but now you realize is darker, blacker than the pitch black room that you are in, and it moves closer to your body. Its face, does it have a face? Now is almost touching yours. What do? Your body won't respond. All you can do is stare wide-eyed in fear. You never knew a human being could feel this until, gasp, breath floods your lungs. Cold sweat covers your face, chest and hands. The figure is gone. Was it even there? Was it a dream? You try and calm your heart. You sit up in bed and no sleep will elude you tonight. And out of the corner of your eye, you see someone dark move. This is a situation many people around the world have to deal with every night as they lay down for sleep. Fear grips their minds and bodies and keeps them awake for days. And while the physical reactions of night terrors and sleep paralysis are poorly understood, the commonalities of the visions and dreams or hallucinations are even more mysterious. What are the shadow people? Where do they come from? Can they hurt you? Are there ways to stop their nightly assaults? We will try and answer these questions and more tonight on Let's Make It Weird. So how is everybody?
That was nice.
Tonight we're without Jacob. He's sick. He's at home. But I have two other guests with me tonight. Jarett, Andrew.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Great now. Good story.
I have goosebumps.
It's good. It's a little.
No, the book Goosebumps.
Oh. Have you read his young adult stuff?
Is pedophilia novels?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have.
Okay.
Good.
And neither have I. I was just wondering.
Don't read those.
Okay. Why did they make you a pedophile?
Probably blacklisted. Probably. Don't read them.
I don't think his stories are as scary as that, though.
No. I'm not his kid stuff.
Yeah, for kids.
Yeah.
They're scholastic books.
Because they're not real.
Don't ruin it.
Oh, yeah. So tonight, we're talking about shadow people. And if you guys don't know what shadow people are, it's a phenomenon where people, usually when they're falling asleep or when they wake up from sleep, experience a sensation of being unable to move and seeing another figure in the room somehow. A lot of people experience this.
So you said it happened every night?
For a lot of people, it does.
It's a lot of nights.
Yeah.
For how long?
Usually it starts when you're a child to early teens, and there are some people who never, ever get rid of shadow people. That story I just told, that is their experience every night. Almost every night.
Wouldn't you eventually get used to it,
No, they never do. I mean, sometimes they can kind of manipulate the feeling and kind of almost push away the fear that they feel and that paralysis almost, but that's over years and years of experience. So, yeah.
It's like druid status.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, I get a good night's sleep maybe 5 out of the 7 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could handle the shadow people every night. I'd probably
love
kill myself.
sleep.
Yeah.
I love going to sleep. I don't know. Hit or miss.
It's true. I look forward. About 8 o'clock, I'm like, I get to go to bed soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Exact opposite. It's a waste of time for me. I stay as long as I can. I go to bed when I'm physically exhausted, and I go to sleep, wake up, and I'm back awake, and it's great. And I'm awake.
Well, I
But
never said I got a whole night's sleep.
Well,
I will probably
yeah.
get about 4 hours of sleep.
You got dogs stomping on your nuts.
And
3 in the morning, go outside.
Andrew, did you have a bedtime as a child?
No.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I was forced to go to bed every night after Cheers. I don't know when that ended. I just know. No,
7:30.
at the start of Cheers.
Woody Harrelson was funny. Go to bed.
We saw the cold open, then the intro song, and then it was time for bed. And
Yeah.
that went on until Cheers ended. And then I don't remember after that. But I give myself a bedtime, so I go to bed even if I'm not tired.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, also tonight we're drinking what I've affectionately called the Shadow Fists, which is Jägermeister and lime seltzer water. It's actually quite delicious.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
It's good. I don't like Jägermeister.
No, me neither.
This is nice.
I would order this in the bar.
Gets rid of the black licorice balls in your mouth flavor.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I mean, I know this is a bro fest, but this is a chick drink. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
It's
You're right.
definitely something that everyone at the bar could drink.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I agree.
Order a round.
I agree.
Maybe a little black pepper in there. I don't know.
To man it up. Maybe some
Black
hot
pepper.
sauce.
Black pepper.
Mm. I don't know.
Just a whole pepper just sitting in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a whole poblano pepper just.
Ooh, that'd be good. So, have you guys heard of sleep paralysis?
Yes.
Yes? What do you know about it?
Nothing. I just heard about it.
Okay.
Heard about it.
Have you?
That's where. Let me see if I understand it. So, you can't move,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know if you're asleep.
Sort of.
Sort of.
According to WebMD, sleep paralysis is the feeling of being conscious but unable to move. This usually occurs while a person is in between wakefulness and sleep because the body is within or switches off the muscles so you cannot freely move while you're dreaming.
So you're paralyzed.
Yes.
You can't move your body.
Your body will usually switch off your ability to move on your own. The muscles you need for breathing and for other living things, they stay on.
Boring stuff.
Yeah, the boring stuff. But your ability to move is effectively shut off so you don't act out your dreams.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mhm.
So like people who sleepwalk, they don't have that paralysis
They don't-
mechanism.
yeah, they don't have
And they
that.
get up and they
Mhm.
do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's creepy.
Yeah. But that's why your eyes can move. That's why with REM, your eyes
Yeah.
are active.
Flutter.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why when you are experiencing sleep paralysis, you can open your eyes and scan your room.
And that's when you see the shadow people?
Yeah, usually.
I used to sleepwalk as a kid.
No kidding.
Like I've gotten up, walked downstairs, gone to the bathroom, had a full conversation with my mom, gone back upstairs. She'll laugh about it. She knows I'm sleepwalking. It stopped after childhood, I think, sometime. I haven't done it in a long time.
So usually, from the research I've done, at least sleep terrors and stuff like where you're sleepwalking or usually getting up at night like that will end in the early
Before puberty.
pubescence. Yeah.
It was before even middle school. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me too as a kid. I got up and it must have been like 11:30 or 10 because my parents were going to bed. But I walked into the room and told my mom I missed the bus. And then she told me to go back to bed. It's still nighttime.
Your son's drunk again.
That's how they got me to bed early.
Yeah. They didn't strap you down that night. They forgot. So while this is called sleep paralysis, it's also known as hypnagogic sleep, which is a really...
Did you say hypnagogic?
That's a mouthful.
Hypnagogic.
Hypnagogic.
Yes, yes. And while sleep paralysis may run in families, other factors could be the cause of this, such as like lack of sleep, dramatic shifts in sleep schedules, stress, bipolar disorder, sleeping on your back, which I sleep on my back all the time.
Stare at the ceiling. I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
You only have 3 options.
Yeah. Side, back, face down.
I guess you could do like
Standing.
face down, ass up.
Yeah.
Or like, what is it, Bruce Wayne in the first Batman movie where he like hung up on that thing and he like crossed his arms and it was all weird.
You never did that.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
In the first movie?
The first one. Didn't he do that?
He did not sleep upside
Am
down.
I misremembering this?
I hope so.
Tim Burton, I feel like he fucked up that movie bad.
What?
This is my opinion. I don't like Tim
Well,
Burton.
your opinion is wrong.
It's not like you had any, like, except for the show, it's not like you had anything to, like, judge it against.
The comic books!
You made a movie. I don't give a shit about the comic books. Just focus on the movie. Like, it's a just a good movie. Like,
it doesn't hold up.
It's better than the shit show of Schwarzenegger and Clooney and all that. Like, you know.
I don't, yeah. Those
Agreed.
are erased from my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like how they try to keep the continuity, though, even though it was completely off.
Yeah.
Like, they kept Alfred in there.
Sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I think...
He's the only one who, like, would agree to be in the movie.
Yeah, they asked Billy D to be in it.
What?
And
As the butler?
as they wanted... Well, they originally wanted to be Two-Face, and Schumacher
Yeah.
said, I can't, I'm going with Tommy Lee Jones.
No.
That fucking traitor, don't put him in my movie.
Billy D would have been awesome.
He would have pulled it off.
Yeah.
I guess.
God, he wouldn't have done like a schlock job like Tommy Lee. Fuck that. Anyway, back to sleep paralysis. Now, along with all those other fun things, comes the visitors. They are, people commonly call them either the old hag, the shadow people, or the hat man. These are the three common occurrences between people who have sleep paralysis.
Wait, the hag?
The old hag. There's the old hag, which is the people usually also experience like a pressure on their chest where they can't breathe, and they imagine that it's an old like witch on their chest sucking out their breath.
Is this like Baba Yaga? Like, is this like
No, I mean I guess it could be similar, but like
What did you say?
Baba Yaga is a Russian witch.
Oh, we just assume that everybody knows Baba Yaga is a Russian.
Hey,
Look
man,
that shit up, man. Wikipedia.
If you're listening to this podcast, hopefully you're a weirdo and you know this stuff.
If you're listening to this podcast, send us an email and tell us whether or not you know Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Most of the people who listen to this podcast are my coworkers. So probably they don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. Well, I
Well,
mean,
then we
it's
then we-
referenced in that movie with Keanu Reeves, and it's referenced in a.
It
Steve
was
Irwin
referenced in
thing.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
What? Really?
No, damn it. The one where he's in action here. What the fuck's the movie?
John Wick.
No, John
Matrix?
Wick. Yeah, John Wick. John Wick. It's referenced in it, but it's got a different tale to it.
Oh.
The name is referenced, but it's like a different telling. What I'm talking about is actually there's a steampunk band, the Walter Sickert and the Army of something toys.
Okay.
It's a band.
All right.
It talks about.
Baba Yaga.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
Walks the woods. She's got chicken legs, a house on her back. She steals kids up.
I actually want to do a whole episode on Baba Yaga,
Oh, yeah.
so we're going to keep that one for that.
It's fantastic.
We'll bring you in
So-
for that episode.
So the hag.
The old hag, yeah.
Back to that.
That is one
then-
of the three tropes. There's the shadow people, which are common. It's a dark, shadowy figure. Doesn't seem to be 3D, but does seem to be able to be not like a shadow on the wall. It's a figure in your room, and it moves around, and it usually will try and either, if it starts at the end of the room, will try and walk towards you, or if it starts on the side of your bed, it will usually just hover over you until you're able to start moving. Yeah. And then there's the Hat Man, which is a version of the Shadow People, where it's a shadowy figure, much like the Shadow People, where it's not a three-dimensional being, but it has depth to it.
Yeah.
But sometimes...
He's wearing a hat.
Yeah, it's like a wide-brimmed hat. And
Like
some,
Polar Guys too.
yeah. Or I'm trying to think, was it Dark City?
Sure.
It's
Like the Adjustment Bureau.
almost.
But
Yeah.
not as.
Not as G-Man.
Yeah.
Not as Damon-y.
Yes, the common adjective. Damon.
Damon-y. But yeah, these are the three things that will show up in a lot of these experiences. And one of the things that a lot of people who experience sleep paralysis, they don't look up this stuff ahead of time. A lot of them don't know any of this phenomenon until it starts happening to them. And then when they look it up, they're like, this is what I experienced. thousands of other people around the world are saying they have the exact same thing, and and they're separated by me. They're not family. They don't. Nothing about them is similar to me.
When you experience alien abduction, you don't instantly Google alien abduction and then look up all the other people who.
No, I think you usually go to rape counseling.
It's only you. You're terrified. You would just assume everybody else is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So how common is this?
Not that common. I think it's like 1 to 3% people actually experience this.
Common enough that there's statistics.
Yeah.
But not something you hear about.
Well, statistics can be used to prove anything. 43% of all people know that.
Now, let me say this. It's common enough that there is a Netflix documentary about this.
Yeah.
So, if that lends credence to it.
I mean, the Thin Man stuff on the YouTubes was big for a while. That sort of...
Slenderman?
Slenderman.
Yeah, Slenderman. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, when's that HBO thing going to come on? I want to see that.
I don't know. I want to see that thing, too.
It premiered at, Sundance or something, and then... Or one of the festivals?
Yeah, it hasn't come out yet. I think it's mid-October. I can't wait to see that. I want to do a whole episode on Slenderman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Same realm, different entity, different reasons.
So how far back does this go in time? Because shadow puppets were around 2,000 years ago.
How much research did you do into shadow puppets?
Too much.
Okay.
That's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah, that is not our topic.
Glad you researched
They go all the way to the Han Dynasty, just so you know.
Oh, good.
Han or Hun?
Yeah, whatever you said, I think it
It's
is.
the Han Dynasty.
It's not based on Han Solo?
Yeah.
It's the Han Solo Dynasty.
Shadow people, I think it was William Shakespeare actually mentioned the old hag in one of his plays.
Oh.
Far enough back for that.
And he's old.
He's
kind of old.
relatively old.
Yeah, like a couple hundred years back or something like that.
Yeah. One of these.
Oh, God. Those are so good. We recorded our Ghost podcast with vodka and Ecto Cooler.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
God.
Just love showing that butthole.
Wait, you should leave that in. We can let them figure out whose butthole.
Well, I'll cut that out and put it at the very
I once
end.
came home from work. Kitty was waiting by the bathroom door, my then bathroom, master bedroom bathroom, sitting on the floor, leg kicked straight up in the air, cleaning her own asshole with her tongue.
Yeah.
And I stopped and I said, "Yeah, you can chop down that cherry tree." And I instantly felt disgusting. She stared at me, and I just sort of backed away from her and went in the bathroom and spoke nothing of it.
Awkward moments.
Yeah, I didn't talk to her about
It
it.
was horrible. I don't know why the fuck I said it. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
It's funny though.
It came out. It was awful.
line.
It was awful.
All right. So the big thing to know about shadow people, well, yes, they do have some historical, I guess, presence, is just the commonality that everyone has with them. Is there's very little variation to these stories, and the big thing is they're terrifying. These people are just there's no way to describe the fear that they are feeling with these creatures or whatever they are in their lives.
But wouldn't you be afraid just because you can't move? Isn't that fear enough?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I had it once when I was a kid. I remember waking up in just blind terror because I couldn't move. I felt like I was too scared to move. That was the reason. I didn't realize I couldn't move.
Oh.
And I knew that there was somebody standing outside the bedroom door. I couldn't see them, and that was the reason I was terrified. They were there, and I knew they wanted to get in the room. They just never did. And by the time I was able to move, I started screaming to get my parents into the room. And they said they didn't see anybody in the hallway, that the house was empty.
No.
Don't worry about it.
So is it that just kids tend to see these things because they're younger? and you grow out of it, and they're still there, but now that you're an adult, you can't see them anymore?
Well, one of the people in The Nightmare, the documentary we were talking about, is in his late 40s, early 50s, and he's been seeing it since, he says he was 2.
Okay.
But that was one of his earliest memories, is these shadow creatures walking into his room and standing over his bed.
But that's all they do? They just stand over your bed until...
Sometimes they get like really close to your face or like almost touch you, but they never really harm you. It's just this fear that is coursing through your body. All the hormones and the chemicals running through you, telling you need to move or you need to fight, but you can't.
Right.
Because your body's locked up because you're asleep.
But if they're not going to hurt you, why should you be afraid of them?
It's not really the mindset at the time, though.
Well,
in the moment kind of thing, where you're...
I always look back to the fact that human beings from almost 20,000 years ago to today are physically the exact same. Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind, is that when we were still basically cavemen and hunter-gatherers, we are the physically same.
For as much as we've learned, it's done nothing. Like, we're still...
So we're still primitive in the lizard brain, is what you're saying?
Your mind is still like,
fight
get
or
the
flight.
fuck out of there, or fight them, or do what you
can. Brain
can.
hasn't made any advances.
Yeah.
Just because we've built more shit. We're still just as...
So, what are the shadow people? Where do they come from? What do they want?
I don't know. We're going to talk about that in a second. Now, a related, although sort of not related, phenomenon is night terrors. Guess know anything about those?
Are those just bad dreams?
For the most part.
Yeah.
They do have a physical reaction to them, though. They're characterized by having these intense nightmares where you wake up, usually sit up in bed, screaming, unable to, really calculate what your surroundings are, where you're at. You're just terrified.
Right.
Even people who are maybe in bed with you or in another room come in to console you, you might lash out at them because you're still unaware of what's going on.
Often dramatized in shows and movies and things like that, where you just sort of wake up in terror. It's an elaborate nightmare.
And with this phenomenon, a lot of people experience this in their early adolescence to late teens. Very few, like 1% of adults, will actually claim to still have night terrors all the way through adulthood.
The same adults pee their pants, but they won't tell anybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's a puberty thing?
Usually, it seems to be like a childhood sort of thing.
You don't know where it's coming from. You don't want to tell anybody.
Exactly.
You don't want to sound stupid to your friends. You don't want to tell your parents. You don't want to sound crazy. So.
Yeah, and it's almost like a psychedelic response to like everything that was happening to you. You just have no ability to control yourself.
It does seem to happen. Like, I know I've woken up sort of like in response to a dream.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily a nightmare or terrifying, but it's like your body reacting to it, because when your brain's sort of locked into something, you sort of wake up from it. I know when I was a kid, I remember I was a kid, I pissed in the bed.
Yeah.
Because the dream was that I was like a detective. I was a detective, and
Okay.
I'm doing all this stuff, and you go and you just start using the bathroom. Like, as if you're living this thing, and then you wake up peeing on yourself. Like, what the fuck? Like, you get mad at your own brain because you just tricked yourself into doing it. And but that, it has that connection to it.
Like, I've had the pee dream. I have them every other night where you're peeing. And it's always in a weird spot. Still.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I'll be at somebody's house and I can't find the bathroom, so I pee in the garbage can or something.
It's not a dream.
And in the dream, like, I'm
peeing.
doing
it. You've broken into someone's house drunk.
But I always wake up with the urge to pee.
Yeah.
Or wet the bed.
Oh, yeah.
See, and that's the cutoff. The last time I had a pee dream, I did. I walked to the bathroom in the dream, was peeing, and I woke up peeing in the bed. Now, granted, I was in my 20s and had just had 4 pots of coffee, so I did this to myself.
Cut back to when I talked about how I would sleepwalk when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Upstairs, bed was upstairs. One time I was sleepwalking, thought I was in the bathroom, I was actually peeing over the banister. downstairs.
Your mom was thrilled with you.
See, that's something I always want to do when I'm awake.
So it's better than I was peeing on the bed before, because it was a water bed, and you can just wash the sheets, and it's a water bed, you just sort of like slick that whole thing off.
Yeah.
And you just make fun of me for it. But like, when you're peeing, when you're walking around, you're just peeing on stuff in the house. Like, you can't just hose that off.
No.
So, it's better to pee in the bed.
Did you know that a cat won't go to their litter box if you pee in it one time? They'll refuse to go back to that litter box.
I've never peed in my cat's litter box.
Don't do it because you don't need a new litter box.
Never tried to do it.
I'm just saying.
Never been that far gone.
Now, come on. I can call bullshit on that because I taught my cats to pee in the toilet, and I pee in that all the time.
That's different. That's not theirs. That's yours.
Well, they don't have no problem peeing in my toilet.
You taught him to do it. It wasn't immediate.
Yeah.
It was learned.
That's right.
Not inherent.
I guess so. Okay.
So, what happens when shadow people show up while you're sleeping? Basically, they scare the fuck out of you. No one knows what they're doing, why they're there, where they come from. They're just there, and they're terrifying you. Now, some researchers, quotes on that because these people are frauds most of the time, feel that they're there feeding off of that fear, that energy.
Now, are they seemingly physical representations of our own subconscious? Or is it
They could be.
Is it just sort of like an elaborate... It's like the fear you have physically trying to get towards you? Is it seemingly that's what it is?
I like that definition.
Yeah, it absolutely could be.
So it's, like you said, it doesn't hurt you. It's not like something just actually hitting you.
Yeah.
But fear, finding a way to just go from being an inanimate thing in your head to actually trying to get...
But if that theory is true, then it is in their head.
Oh, it all is.
But could it be physically manifesting in your room?
Most people are afraid of the dark because you thought you saw something.
Right.
There's this feeling like something's actually coming towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bundle of clothes looked like a scary clown.
Of course. Like, there's always this worry, this fear. I grew up thinking that, like, you watch a horror movie and you go to the bathroom and you had to, like, peek behind the shower curtain because you didn't know if something was back there. Not necessarily a shadow, but just there's always something around every corner. There's always this thing that might be near you. So if you don't deal with that in real life, when you go to bed, that shit's fair play.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the difference, because a ghost, you'll get people, like, two people will be together and they'll both see the same ghost.
Yeah.
With shadow people, it's always one person's.
Yeah.
A ghost isn't mental. A ghost is something outside of your body.
Maybe. You could have some psychological problems that haven't been dealt with.
Worrying about ghosts and thinking there's ghosts is one thing, but actually being haunted is
that's a different thing. And we covered that on the last episode. If you go back and listen to that.
I'm for it, but
you just have to go back and listen to that one.
Experience my fair share.
Yeah. There's no one knows why they're here. So, what can you do to get rid of shadow people if you are being tormented by them? Nothing. Nothing gets rid of them.
That's your call? Just nothing?
Nothing.
Just deal with it?
Now,
suck it up?
There are claims by people who said that when they turned to Jesus, the shadow people went away.
I'm sorry, who is this now?
The same people thought that turning
Yahoo
to Jesus
Answers.
The same people thought that turning to Jesus would get them off death row, but it didn't happen. You know,
I'm sorry, I have no idea what this Jesus is.
Yeah.
Doesn't fix it. Won't fix it.
No, it's not gonna...
You can't just say something and make it true.
No.
Doesn't happen that way. Thing is, it's you.
Yeah.
That's tormenting you.
Yeah.
So in order to fix it, you have to fix your fucking self.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have nightmares. I don't stay up late. I don't sleepwalk anymore because I'm busy all day. You know, like
you're active. You're using your mind.
Time for that shit. Like I don't have time to worry about what might be there. I get too many problems worrying about bills and rent and other stuff. Like, why do I care about? It doesn't affect me. It doesn't torment me.
So what you're telling...
But I know full well that it does happen, exist. People are afflicted by it.
Yeah, basically, you're telling people with shadow people haunting them. You're telling them get a life.
No, I'm telling them that there's a reason it's there. There's a reason it afflicts you.
Yeah.
But there is a way to get past it and through it.
I don't know. I still say there's no way to get rid of them. Either they go away on their own and they're done with you.
Things are darkest before they're dawn, and
Or-
so on and so forth.
It's that thing where, like, once you expect it to happen, then your brain tricks you into seeing it happen.
That's true. That could honestly be part of it, where you experience it so much when you're young that your body just...
You convince yourself it's there, and then it
the
appears
placebo
there.
effect.
Yeah, it's true. Now, there are just so many different reasons for what these things are, why they're here. Are they from a different dimension? It's a possibility. There's no way for us to know whether or not this is just some creature that feeds off that fear that we are literally shooting out into the environment around us, because it is a physical. We are giving off pheromones that can be, felt in the air. Some beings can smell this.
True.
Your brain is racing, so it could be electromagnetics coming off of you. There's so many ways that other creatures could be feeding off of that they could actually want to cause that to happen.
There was worry for a long time that Mothmen were here to harm us and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
They obviously weren't. They were to warn us.
Yeah.
So, if it's another dimension thing, how would that work? Like, do they know that they're looking at us, or is it just the two dimensions crossing and it just happens to be going to bed at the same time you're sleeping?
They dealt with this in that Netflix show.
I don't know.
With Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I mean, sort of, but that was
Yeah,
the
that's
idea.
true.
Where
That's the theme of it. It's bizarro, alternate existence.
Bizarro.
But
yeah.
that had portals, and they were going in and out of those dimensions.
Yeah.
It's not my show. I'm just, but that's
No!
that's the idea was the alternate dimensions. Or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and it just could be that this is
broad term. Yeah.
an overlapping universe that where when we're experiencing this, it's there ready to feed on whoever's
physical
around.
representation of the fear that we have inside of us.
Yeah. Now, some people have actually hypothesized that they're time travelers.
Also,
And
that's what's about Mothman. Same thing. Same idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but okay, they're time travelers.
Yes.
Why are they traveling every night?
Only
Well,
when we sleep.
that's the problem. Is it could just be that there's some sort of feedback that we catch on when we're asleep, and
They only
that
come back at night when we're asleep. Maybe they're from the Philippines. It's a different time zone.
Like, does it come if they take a nap on like the bus?
yes,
Yes, they still appear.
actually yes. If you nap, there's for people who experience
All
this,
those people who act crazy, they're
Oh,
experiencing night
shit.
terrors. They're experiencing night terrors.
but they're running around
They're
throwing
being-
ghosts.
Yeah, they're more like the waking nightmare kind of thing.
Ugh.
But I think those are drug induced or booze induced.
Who knows? I don't
Yeah.
watch them smoke crack. They might be.
You just
I don't know.
assume.
Maybe they're just being chased by demons. They're not actually. They're all sober people. I don't know.
We don't know. They could literally be
It's
being
not
chased
fair.
by demons.
Yes, I apologize to the homeless community.
Yeah. Because they're really picking this
They're checking out
podcast
your
up.
podcast right now.
They're our number one demographic. Now, could they be aliens?
History Channel says yes.
Dana Scully says that's highly illogical.
Okay. I say this is actually more along the lines of these two phenomenon actually meet together, because when people describe alien abductions, a lot of those descriptions sound a lot like the description of shadow people. Like
Because it's at night and they're asleep and they
or,
feel a presence.
But it's the sensation. You can't really move. You know someone's in
Without
the
specifics,
room.
yeah,
They're there. They're
overlapping.
Yeah. And you can lose big periods of time from this just because you've.
As if they're not shadow people, but it's aliens keeping a short distance and just watching us, and it's like
Yeah.
an experiment sort of thing. Is that what they're?
And one of the theories that aliens abduct us in very, I guess scripted scenarios that people can actually repeat through different.
There's too many vague things in our lives that we can't understand. So if you simply sort of put a label on it, it becomes.
We're humans. We have to label it. We have to.
Like, it's probably an alien.
No, you can combine them all. They can be interdimensional time-traveling aliens, right?
Could it be a superstring theory?
Yeah.
That all of these things are related.
That's right.
I'm just saying, man.
I mean, maybe we're the shadow people.
Machu Picchu is way too elaborate for us to have built it ourselves. Probably a fucking alien.
Oh, yeah. And the pyramids in Egypt were built at the exact same time.
Gives no credit at all. It's probably an alien who orchestrated the whole thing because it elaborates up with the sun and all that
The fucking Tsukalakis guy, I swear to God. The guy with the fucking crazy hair.
Aliens, dude.
Yeah.
He gets it. He's fine.
He's an asshole.
He's a dumb shit, harmless person who's...
I guess.
I mean... He sucks.
What an asshole.
Wow. It's really harsh.
Yeah. I don't watch his program. History Channel used to be about documentaries about shit that actually happened.
Yeah.
Now it's just aliens.
Hitler in World War II.
Now it's all, now it's aliens orchestrated the Hitler attacks.
I was like this close to ordering Tsukalakis' magazine that he produced. Yeah. Like, I can't remember his first name. I know it's like Tsukalakis.
That was just fat face with tall hair.
No.
It was actually a person.
No, it's Greek asshole who has his own magazine, which cost like $30 an issue.
I like Greek asshole.
That was the thing. It was $30 an issue, which when I was 12, I'm like, yeah, I'll totally pay $30 for a magazine about aliens. Now I'm like, no. $30 a year.
12-year-old self.
I was gullible. Super gullible as a 12-year-old. But I mean, like, in the back of comic books, you wanted to order all that.
Yeah,
that hovercraft and like the freeze-dried bats.
Yeah.
Did you ever get those freeze-dried bats?
No.
That was...
I never wanted to cut out my comic because it was the bottom. I never wanted to cut out the back cover.
See, I ordered the freeze-dried bats and then I got the bats and I tried to rehydrate them.
They had the same stuff in like old 70s porno where they actually cut things out and order stuff. It was just like a different thing you cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had that stuff.
Yeah, anyway. Those were the days. And you had to wait 6 to 8 weeks and pay shipping and handling.
You may never get your order. No, shadow people. Back to shadow people.
Gotcha.
Could they be demons? I mean, it kind of fits.
Just as likely as aliens.
Yeah. Like the encounters of demons terrorizing people do kind of fit within the same mold as shadow people and aliens.
That would explain the fear they're feeling.
Yeah.
People often joke that women who hang out together, their periods sync up. That's a running joke, right? Maybe the elaborateness of shadow people and the subconscious has just been too many people behaving together.
It could be
a large sort of unknown subconscious, and then that's just the fear that they all collectively have gained and
it could be our subconscious, especially if studies that show that our consciousness actually doesn't exist inside of us, it exists out in the cloud, and we're just receivers for consciousness. Could it be that this is just something that somebody's experienced once and then it filtered into someone else and then someone else and then now it's starting to pop up a little bit more and more?
That makes more sense than aliens.
Yeah.
Receiving something or feeling something and experiencing something is different than like some alien from another planet just wanted to mess with us. Like that makes more sense.
Yeah.
It was like a thought versus a physical thing.
Yeah.
So do they ever, like these people suffering, do they ever do the sleep therapy where they film them and then get it on tape?
I'm sure they do. And that's one of the suggestions. Is like if you feel like you're experiencing sleep paralysis, like go to some place that does sleep studies. Find out. I mean, these things cost money though, so a lot of people don't want to spend money on a sleep study just to see whether or not they're crazy, or maybe they're imagining this, or maybe they really are experiencing sleep paralysis. Maybe,
which is why the Paranormal Activity movies have done so well.
Yeah, because it's a simple idea where something could just invisibly walk in your room, maybe it's a shadow, and torment you.
Well, yeah, isn't that the demons trying to possess you when they have to come in?
Yeah, could be.
Go to your bed, get inside of you.
Yeah, when you're sleeping, you are the most vulnerable. That is the thing that I think nobody, like, a lot of these people don't really, like, coordinate here, I guess, is the best way to put it, is you are the most vulnerable while you're sleeping. You're not awake, your eyes are closed, you are physically impaired.
You're unguarded.
Yeah.
It's the creepiest thing because we purposely make ourselves unconscious every day.
Yeah. And then it's possible you could wake up and somebody might be in the room with you. And, I mean, could it be that an intruder has broken into your house and your body is doing this and now you're stuck like this? You have no idea what to do?
One of the scariest dreams I had when I was growing up was that I wanted to run, but it was like I was in sand or in water, and you
that.
God, I felt that.
Physically run. Same thing, where you're just sort of stuck. You're sort of you can't get away from what you
Those
want.
sleep paralysis dreams are the worst, where you can't move your arms, or you
it's like
just
you're in sludge or thick water. You're
everything's
underwater.
so slow, and you're trying to like move.
You feel like it's so debilitating that you honestly believe that, like, if I were to be awake right now, I couldn't actually run. Like you actually believe that you're just stuck.
Yeah. And then you wake up and realize that you slept on your hand and your foot and they're asleep, and then you get out of bed and fall on the floor.
It's like who is it? The Night Stalker. One of the things he used to do when he'd break into houses to murder people is he would sometimes stand over their bed for an hour or two at a time and just watch them sleep.
Yeah.
Which is weird because anyone who
Edgar
experienced him always talked about how bad he smelled. So it's weird that he was able to do that for so long and still smell as bad as he did.
I don't know. I've never woken up from a smell. You know, like most people die in their sleep.
And yet it's the most nostalgic sense in your body.
Yeah, it's true.
If we have the windows open and skunks are like spraying,
wake you up?
that'll
We're not
wake
often
me
nostalgic
up.
about rapists who are about to attack us. So
well, normally not.
Uncle Tony.
In the no-touch room.
Is that you, Richard Ramirez?
Now, could they be figments of our imagination?
Most likely.
It's just as likely.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's just as likely, but
the most logical explanation.
Elaborate, horrific dreams manifested in the shadow people.
Yeah.
Probably.
Now, if I had to ask you guys, why do you think... Let's suppose shadow people are real. They are actually in contact with these people that say that they see them. Why do you think they're here? I know we've talked a little bit about this already. Why do you think they're here?
Grand schemes or everything?
Yeah.
Why are Mothman here? They're to warn us.
Possibly.
So?
But why do they terrify people? Why do they hover over your bed or stand in the corner of your room or
why does the same unrelenting knowledge of death scare you?
Perhaps they feed off of your fear.
Okay.
So they're creatures, and if they don't scare you every night, I know I'm getting a little Monsters Inc. now.
Okay.
But they have to scare you in order to generate power for their secret city.
Like police? Like their quota?
Do you not watch Pixar films?
I've seen it. I watched it 2 days ago. I saw it, and I'm aware of it. John Goodman's delightful.
I know. Billy Crystal? Oh my God.
Fantastic.
A national treasure.
Yeah, because that would explain why they would come back every night, and that would explain why they keep feeding off the same people.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think it's probably... If it's happening to a lot of children have very active imaginations.
Yeah.
You know, they want the closet door closed. They're going to convince themselves.
But as adults, too, that's the thing.
Well, they never grow out of it, because they believed that it was real as a kid, and then they never... matured.
Could be. I mean, these people, like, you know, they have, like, careers, they have families. They definitely have a hard time connecting and, like, sharing with another individual.
Seem to be introverted. And
That is an awkward, like, first date, conversation.
I see shadow people.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying your spaghetti?
Are you paying for this? I don't even mind. Yeah,
I gave it all the sleep study.
That's awkward. Sure. No, it's an affliction like anything else, and then it's always hard to pinpoint something and make it real or explain it to somebody else. But,
I mean, what do the people who suffer think it is?
A lot. It's such different reactions and experiences that it's every individual will think that they're there for a different reason, but it's similar experiences and events will happen all the time, every time that they experience them. But everyone is like, well, in the nightmare, one woman's like, well, they're demons because the moment I started calling out Jesus in my mind, they went away. And the moment I started going back to church, they went away. And when I got a good
That's placebo.
Christian husband, they all went away.
Placebo.
Well, let's assume
Happenstance.
Yeah.
Jesus is real.
Okay.
Does Jesus and demons, do they exist in the same universe? I don't even know.
Do the Constantine movie.
Yeah, in the Constantine they do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
That's a fun movie. I like that one.
Is that the Keanu Reeves movie?
Yeah, it's Keanu Reeves. No, it's a different Keanu Reeves movie.
How awkward he would come up twice.
I know, right? I mean, I honestly have no idea why they're here and what their purpose is. I mean, honestly, I think it's really just a matter of entities that we don't know how to quantify.
I wonder if these people have pets. I wonder if, like, your
night terrors physically had pets.
No. We know dogs have night terrors, or cats, and they get up in the middle of the night and run around our cage. But I'm saying, like, if you're seeing that stuff, the animals will sense your fear, and they'll lash out.
Could be.
So maybe they would see it, too. Because I had a dog that would bark at shadows, corners. Like, I know they hear things because I have really good hearing. But to me, it seemed like he was just barking at ghosts or shadow people.
Sure. Could be.
You know,
I've watched a cat stare at a wall for hours.
Yeah, and then they'll look at, it's like they're looking at something, but there's nothing there.
We almost called our cat Carol Ann because she saw ghosts. Yeah.
Well, I think pets and children are more in tune to these other dimension stuff. And I think as adults, we're too busy with our bills and to even notice.
It's true.
Jaded and worthless as human beings.
Yeah.
Right, we have a hard enough time hating people, we don't have time to deal with it.
I don't think with Trump we have a hard enough time hating people. He really inspires that.
Don't pay attention to things like that. Sure.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I really don't think there's any way to really explain where these creatures come from and why they're here, because there's no evidence. There's nothing that will physically show they've been in the room.
True. Yeah.
So I mean, there's plenty of like supposed pictures that you can find of like someone. Ooh, look! If you look down the hallway, there's like a little blob. That little blob is a shadow person.
Yeah, yeah, that's bullshit. Because I went on a ghost hunt one time, and they told us to take 3 pictures, 3 times, and then if you get like a line or a blemish or something, that's the ghost. But I'm like, if the ghost is there, he would show up in every picture.
Yeah. You'd assume.
You're just assuming that photography will fail 1 in 3 times, and the iPhone is too good. It takes wonderful pictures even at night.
My iPhone's a piece of shit.
Well, then you should go ghost hunting. You'll find
I find ghosts all the time.
What are you recording this on?
An iPhone. That's why the episode failed a couple episodes back. We had to re-record it.
Oh,
yeah.
You can't recreate that.
Well, we were shit-faced during it, so it was easy to recreate it because we don't remember it.
Oh, good way to go.
Yeah, we realized you can't record a podcast drunk. That drunk, at least.
Yeah, you have to at least start sober, right?
Yes, we learned no pre-gaming.
Yeah.
Have a meal. And no more favorables.
Yeah. I feel the same way about, going to court.
When you go to court, you can't be drunk.
Yeah, be drunk.
Can't be high.
Well, yeah, speaking of drugs...
Next time you're in court for drugs, tell them about shadow people. See
See if that flies, I guess.
Sorry, Judge, I couldn't get any sleep last night.
fucking shadow people.
But isn't that... Can you take... Because in America, for whatever affliction you have, there is medication.
Sure.
So if I take a sleeping pill, I can probably sleep right through that, right?
True.
Hopefully, sure.
I took when I took Chantix to quit smoking, I had waking hallucinations.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I would see a chair that had a coat sitting on it. I thought it was a person.
Horrifying.
I'd wake up from a dream with a monster in my bedroom and then wake up out of that dream.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jenna was pissed off at me.
Yeah, it was like, and even when I stopped taking Chantix, there was like these long-lasting physical effects that like.
Well, I mean, it did cure your smoking.
Yeah, I did quit smoking.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's a physical.
Sure.
How do you know it's not a side effect of cigarette withdrawal?
Yeah.
Itchy brain. You're very angry. You don't get a whole lot of sleep, which sometimes causes sleep paralysis. Certain substance abuse can probably cause it too, because you'll have these lingering effects. Like, I'm sure if you do acid enough, you're going to have these lingering, because it sits in like your spine or your fat or something like that.
I fell asleep after about like 2 hours. I fell asleep.
So what's the drug that keeps you up all night, though?
Speed.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Meth, right?
PCP.
I bet if you take
Coke.
So there's the other option. You can take a sleeping pill, sleep through the shadow, or take meth and never go to sleep.
And fuck up your teeth and your skull and your
Yeah. You could just do PCP and see shadow people chasing you.
Yeah.
They're usually cops.
bath salts if end up in jail.
Yeah.
All kinds of things you can do to escape shadow people.
We're offering great solutions.
Yeah, these are good solutions, guys. You should, if you're
we are helping.
Write that down.
This is a public service.
I'm trying. Yeah, I really don't think there's any way for us to ever really know what shadow people are or are going to be here for and why they're plaguing humanity.
If it's categorized by now, then there wouldn't be questions. So, I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
It slips through the cracks, and we just kind of continue to question it and worry about it and think about it.
And that's why this show exists, so that we can try and categorize it. We still haven't. I mean, we still don't. Our Bigfoot episode, we still don't even know what Bigfoot is, could be.
Oh, I have a picture of Bigfoot.
Missing link.
I have to show it to you.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was when we went to the Garden of the Gods at the bottom of Illinois. Awesome.
Okay.
Because I was looking at
Start
it.
over.
Well, you zoom in.
Talk about 15 hours to drive to Garden of the Gods, if I remember it correctly.
Okay, explain this. I gotta say, what is this?
No, it was a picture I took of Amy and Kayla.
Yeah.
And then across the bluff, there's a figure walking. It might be a person, but it looks an awful lot like.
You were at Garden of the Gods in Illinois?
There is a Garden of the Gods in Illinois. It's not the same Garden of the Gods.
No shit.
It's a different
No
Garden
shit.
of the Gods.
I'm gonna have
Smaller
to go
garden.
there and hunt Bigfoot now.
Yeah.
I have a weekend planned.
Yeah, I took the picture. I'm like, I gotta show this to Matt.
Yeah.
But you have to see it on the
Would they let
computer
us?
because you have to zoom in.
Would they let us go into the Garden of the Gods with shotguns?
I don't see why not. This is America.
Yeah.
As we drove along Loch Ness,
Yeah.
leaving the cabin we stayed in, we passed by the home where Aleister Crowley lived.
Yeah.
We were driving along there's lots of trees along the edge there, so there's a road, run of trees, Loch Ness, like this barrier between.
Yeah.
Driving between lots of trees, breaks, lots of trees, going through them, riding through them. I'm riding in the passenger side, which is the driver's side here,
Yeah.
riding down along right along the coast, and I know that there are waves.
Okay.
There were probably waves.
Yeah.
But it definitely looked like somebody poked its head out.
Well, how could you not see that?
Yeah.
I know full well that I was at Loch Ness, and I experienced the same thing everybody else experienced, where if you think about it long enough,
Yeah.
you worry about it, and you believe it hard enough, it exists.
There you go. I think we'll leave it at that. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with us and trying to answer what shadow people are.
Thanks to the Jägermeister. by the
You're,
way.
oh yeah, I
Good
think we
drinks.
did a good job today, and yeah. So follow us on Twitter at Make It Weird Pod. You can email us at letsmakeitweird@gmail.com. And I think that's it. I think that's all our social media presence right now. I'm getting the Tumblr going so that I can post our episodes there. And yeah, so everybody keep it weird, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Or listen to
You'll
you,
hear
talk
us.
to
You'll
you.
definitely hear us.
You'll definitely hear us on the next podcast. All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.